Hey everyone, SoranotRoxas here with my Poland Spring bottles in the background. If you guys see me putting a paper towel up to my face, it's because I actually just popped the pimple and I'm just kind of bleeding all over the place. It's really gross and I don't know why I brought that up. I'm going to possibly have to cut that out the video, or maybe not. Knowing me, I'm probably too freaking lazy. Well, okay, this is a review on Finding Dory. Now, it's been a while since I made one of these reviews, huh? Yeah. What was the last film? It wasn't Zootopia, was it? Was it Batman v Superman? I think it was Batman v Superman. Let me just fix the light here. I think it was Batman v Superman. All right. So, Finding Dory. It's the sequel that nobody really asked for except for Ellen DeGeneres to Finding Nemo. The story takes place 1 year after what happened in Finding Nemo. Dory and Nemo and his father are all together, and then Dory gets like a sudden revelation after she hits her head about who her parents are, and she tries to go off and find them, and then we get all the Pixar tropes from there. Alright, now before I get into the second one, let me just mention what I thought of the first film. I actually really like Finding Nemo. It was one of my favorite Pixar films for a while, until the Toy Story sequels came along. But Finding Nemo at the time, well, Toy Story sequels and Inside Out came out last year, and now Inside Out is my favorite Pixar film. But at the time, Finding Nemo definitely held a place in my heart for a few years, actually. I think I saw it when I was in my early teens. When did Nemo come out? Was it 2003 or so? 2003, 2004? I'm gonna have to look that up. Excuse me, I'm burping for some reason. 2003, 2004, I think it came out, and you know, I thought it was good. I thought it was possibly one of Pixar's best. I think Monster Inc. came out like a couple of years beforehand, and like I said, then it had Toy Story years before that, and then we got the sequels after that. And this was during the time with the Walt Disney Animated Studios wasn't really putting out much. This is before the Disney Revival era came along, and the Disney Renaissance era ended a few years ago in 1999 after the release of Tarzan. So I was hoping that that the sequel would be good, and I would say I went in there with kind of mild expectations. I know it was getting a lot of praise from critics. Audiences say they was loving it. I had people come to my job telling me that, oh, did you see Finding Dory yet? I was like, no, I haven't seen it yet. I'm possibly going to go see it this weekend. I did get a chance to see it Sunday, so we saw it last night, and I have to say it was possibly the funniest animated film I've seen this year. I'm going to say, in terms of which movie is better between this and Zootopia, I think Zootopia will still get the Oscar for the year. Zootopia is the better film, but in terms of humor, if you was looking for Zootopia to have like a lot of humor and it's more serious, it's really trying to get its message across. This one's getting a message across too, but it's kind of the same as the first one, whereas don't let your disabilities be a liability. You know, just because you have some sort of disability, whether it's bad sight or you can't hear too well or you can't remember too well, you can still be a functional member of society. You can still do amazing things. You can do anything you put your mind to. That sort of thing, and we got a bit of that in Finding Nemo as well. So it wasn't really much of a add-on to that. But I think the message is a little bit better here because it introduces more characters that have disabilities, whereas in the first one it was just kind of like Nemo that just sort of had that disability of, you know, the small fin. He was handicapped. But it didn't make him a liability, which is good, and that's a good message to give the kids or to anybody all around the world. There were a lot of adults in here. There were kids there, but it was like 7:10 at night the showing was, so it lasted from about 7:10 to 9 o'clock. This was a bit of a long movie. I think possibly close to 2 hours, going over 2 hours maybe. And at the end, there was like clapping all around, man. The freaking, you know, people around my age and older were just like, woo, yeah, Dory! We had a great time. The theater was in roar of laughter, okay? the jokes in here, what I was saying about Zootopia, whereas there wasn't that many jokes in there. When the jokes were there, they were good and they were well written, and you know, we got some laughs out of that. Finding Dory is a lot funnier. It is a lot funnier than Zootopia. We was dying laughing at almost every scene. Every other scene it was a joke. There is a cameo by Sigourney Weaver and Idris Elba, and I dare not to give it away what their voice roles are, but my God, both of them are hilarious. They are absolutely fantastic. And of course, Ellen DeGeneres' delivery as Dory is just amazing. You know, she does a fantastic job of delivering these lines so sincerely and so funny, and it's amazing how funny this woman can be, whether she's on screen or, you know, off screen, or it's just her voice. I found that I was enjoying this in terms of humor a lot more than the first one as well. So I still think the first one is possibly a little bit more superior, although I think the message is a little bit better presented in the second film because of the characters that they introduce, as well as the jokes that are being thrown in there to also sort of make fun of the fact that these are talking fish doing this sort of thing. There is a car chase scene. I'm not going to give that away because, well, I just gave it away. There's a car chase scene, but I'm not going to tell you how it gets to that point. Fish, think about it. A fish movie, a movie about talking fish, and there's a car chase scene even with cops in it, with guns. Okay? It's hilarious, the ending. I dare not give any of this away, because if I do, I'm completely spoiling it for you, and I will refuse to spoil it for you. This will be something you'll have to go and see, wait until it comes out on DVD. I say at least see this movie once. I said this with Zootopia. See it once, make up your own mind about it. Don't let anybody tell you that the movie's bad, or if it isn't is possibly the greatest Pixar movie ever. You know, make up your own mind about it. But for me personally, out of 4 stars, this hits 4, man. I was gonna 3.5 or 4. This hits a 4 for me, just because of how much it made me laugh. And this was the same rating I would give Finding Nemo as well, which hit 4 for me. So it's a really enjoyable film, man. It really is. So any skepticism you have about going in there, oh, it's being a Pixar sequel, yes, it's going to have the Pixar tropes in it, but it doesn't feel like a sequel, though. It does feel like it's its own thing, even though that they do copy some of the tropes from the first one, and they mention a lot of the first one. I would say what did start to get on my nerves at some points was the flashback with Dory and her parents. There was like multiple flashbacks throughout this movie, and they all connected to what was relevant that was going on in the present. Like if something happened in the present, she have a flashback which shows that she's getting that particular memory back, which was fine, and it shows how she actually got separated from her parents and how she was able to find her way back to them. You know, all these memories were starting to come back to her. And like I said, which is fine, but it was just so goddamn cutesy. Every scene, just the big-eyed Dory fish, I was like, oh, you know, it was cute for the first 3 scenes, but once you get to like the 8th or 9th scene of a goddamn flashback, you're just like, okay, that's enough. Yes, we know her parents loved her. I'm sick of fucking seeing this, but it kind of overstays its welcome a little bit. But once it gets to a certain point into the movie where it gets towards the end and it starts, you know, you don't really. No, actually, they still do a flashback. They pretty much almost end the movie off on a flashback, somewhat. Not trying to give that away and not saying what the flashback is about, but God, the whole entire thing is basically flashbacks. That's like a quarter of the movie, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so sick of these damn flashbacks. But a lot of people, that possibly wouldn't bother me. After about the 5th flashback, I was kind of rolling my eyes like, God damn it, we know her parents loved her. What other information you're going to give us? And sometimes they just repeat the same memories, and it's like, okay, I get it. I get it now. So that's my only gripe with it. Otherwise, it being a lot like the first one in terms of when they get to the part of trying to find Dory, which is the name of the movie, that doesn't happen till like the 2nd half. Because pretty much throughout the rest of the movie, and not even all the way in the second half, because pretty much throughout the rest of the movie, Nemo and his father and Dory are basically all together. So it should be Finding Dory's Parents. That's what the movie should be called, instead of just Finding Dory. But either way, I thought it was a good film. I would say, guys, you know, go out and see it. I'm glad I saw it. And, you know, I saw it once. I wouldn't mind seeing it again, you know, possibly by myself. There was a lot of laughter in the theater. Like, every joke got a laugh out of somebody. Me was kind of every other joke. You know, I didn't laugh at every single thing. I kind of chuckled at most of it. But it was funny. I will admit it was very funny. I enjoyed the film. So, yeah, guys, that's it. Not much to say about this. There's a Pixar sequel with the Pixar tropes. Coming off of Finding Nemo, and it's pretty much doing the same thing. So, yeah, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you did not, go ahead and hit that dislike button. I don't know how many views I'm going to get on this. Maybe it might be like, no, Captain America Civil War was the last thing I reviewed, and that didn't get a lot of views, so I don't know how many people are going to watch this. Finding Dory's been out for about a week now, so people have already seen it and possibly made up their minds. I haven't made a movie review in a while, mostly because there's nothing at the movies that I wanted to see. Next thing we have up on the agenda is Suicide Squad, so I'm possibly going to go see that in August. But we have a whole nother month before that even comes out. God, that movie's taking forever to come out. It's as if Warner Brothers or DC have little faith in it, and they're trying to promote it as much as they can. But either way, I was skeptical going into this, but I would say I was more confident seeing this movie than I was, say, like the new Independence Day film, which, you know, that's gonna suck. I don't know why people even went to that. You know that's gonna suck. The first one wasn't even all that great, and I enjoyed the first one as a kid, but you know, then you see something as an adult and you're just like, oh my god, what the hell was they thinking? But either way, guys, you know, like I said, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. I got some stuff I got to do, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.